See it right now, it's salmon. It's a dead body.
You can't inspect it?
Right. So they got it in, they didn't expect it because you can see right now it wasn't looked at, wasn't expected. How do you know if it's going to be fresh? You know, so it's you can send it back, you can send it whatever you want to do, but so much. When we went to CIA, the first was meat ID card, meat ID. I don't know if you remember those, if you ever seen those hooks that they grab and it goes in between their fingers and they grab the meat, the big slice of meat. The first day, our chef came in to do meat identification and he set that on the table. He said, look at this, and set it on the table. So you know, weighs, how many pounds does it weigh? Everybody took a guess. It was like 4 pounds, I think was it. He said that meat hook put his daughters through college. Okay,
Wow.
so every time they would weigh the meat hook would stay on it. Okay, because you put the meat up on the thing and the meat would stay. The reason why I was saying that was you should respect your meat, weigh your meat. You're able to send it back. You're able to put it back. And when you do it like this, it's not. And again, I'm not. Don't go and say, "Oh, what Chef Vachon said," you know. That happens quite a bit. Because then I'm going to say, well, they're going to come back to me and say, well, in a second. How can you? Who's a fisher people out here?
The eyes and the gills.
Eyes. So you have an
Smell?
idea.
I smell?
Yeah, the smell's not that great. Losing a lot of blood. The blood is kind of brownish a little bit. That's not good.
That's good or not good?
It's not good.
Okay.
Okay, and another one is the gills.
Oh, they're already.
If you look at the gills, they're already starting to lose. They're not bright red. Okay. Now I've had it sometimes where we've gotten the cutting through the pin bones, which we're going to take out in a minute.
He can hear you.
Okay. I have good ears. Okay. When you own a business or become executive chef, you get very good ears because you have to hear what's going on everywhere. Because all of a sudden they'll start doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. I'm talking to the food, and you have to pay attention to that too. As you can see, I didn't do too bad as far as keeping. I left a little bit of the meat here. And what we do is we'll take a spoon or a knife or something and just kind of dig this out. What do I do with this?
Can make like a mousse or something.
Make like a mousse, yeah. Take tartare, you can, salmon tartare, you can make salmon tartare out of it. Okay?
Not with this.
You guys are so lucky, you don't have anything, you can waste anything you want. This you wouldn't waste, you would take all this off. So we're gonna take this off right now.
You can cure this down?
Yeah, we're gonna cure this. Now, we're gonna make smoked salmon, which is different than gravlax that you might have learned or you might have done in Chef Gilligan's class. Gravlax is cured and marinated, it's not smoked, but it's a little bit different. There's a different cure to this than it is to this. You have a lot of herbs, a lot of spices, a lot of lemon juice, a lot of acidity, and it goes for like 3 to 4 days. This one, we're only gonna cure for overnight. We cure longer than that, what's going to happen is that it's going to get really salty. Okay, so what you heard me cutting through is the pin bones, which go right along here. They go stop about right here. Having done it enough, you know exactly where they are, and you can see them. If you can't see them, you can run your finger on, but you don't want to push it. Why don't you want to push it?
Tear the meat.
Tear the meat. Also, you see which way I'm going. I'm going which way? I'm going with the grain. If I go against the grain, what's going to happen?
Tear it.
Tear the meat. Now, it's really important, especially when you smoke salmon, and I found it, you really want to treat it gently. You don't want to rip the meat, especially when you're filleting it. If for some reason you rip the meat, it just, the texture and everything just doesn't come out right when you smoke it. Now, what temperature are we going to smoke this at? Anybody have an idea?
Default 225.
No.
Well, you do cold smoke, 80 degrees.
20.
Right. We're going to cold smoke it.
80 degrees.
80 degrees, 82 degrees, yeah, very good. Okay, you're going to smoke it at anything below 100 degrees because 103 degrees, this protein in here starts to denature. It starts to change, and you can't use it. Even for a short period of time, if it goes over 100 degrees, you you can't use it for smoked salmon. We're talking about the slice you put on bagels, okay?
Cause it starts to cook and change.
Yeah, it totally changes. It's too hard to slice. It's more like, so what I would do if for some reason it did happen, and it happens, you know, you get sidetracked, you lose the what do you call it, the ice, it's trying to keep everything cold. If it gets hot, then what you do is you just you know, just turn up the smoker and hot smoke it. It's probably the best thing to do. Okay, now some people use this some people just cure this whole thing with
You take
this
the
on.
belly fat?
I don't. I like to take it off. I like to, even the belly. The belly's really good for. I mean, you can use it for sushi. You can use it for other things like that. I don't use it because it's very fatty. It's the most fattiest part. I don't use it for this. I think the fat kind of affects the smoking part. So I take it off. But again, if you want to leave it on, you can. Now these are the rib bones that go right along there. So you heard that. And what you want to do? Again, a knife doesn't work. But I want to see the knife. If I'm not seeing the knife through the area,
You're too thick.
then I'm cutting into the meat. And again, a sharp knife really helps. And this isn't too bad. It could be a little sharper, which I need to work on. And then what I do is I go down to right where the belly is, and I'll just cut the belly off. What I do for this one is that I give this Chef Kanamaki. He uses it one way or another, so we give that to him. Okay, now we have the fillet. I'm going to take this off too as well.
I'm gonna go buy a cinnamon.
Now,
Are you gonna leave the skin on or you gonna pull it
no,
out?
you need to leave the skin on.
Okay.
It's really important because if not, when you go to slice it, it'll just break all apart.
Okay.
So you have to leave the skin on. Ideally, I couldn't find a larger pan, like 4-inch pan. You want it because it's going to start dripping. Once I start putting salt on, it's going to start. Some liquids are going to go off. And our salt, I have my secret, ultra secret salt recipe.
What's the recipe?
Salt.
It's just secret.
Italian.
Okay. Anybody read the lap packet? I guess not because it's in the lap packet. I asked that because I want to see who reads the lap packet.
I mean, I
Okay.
did.
Oh yeah, the retention.
First day clock.
I read through it, I scanned through it.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and this mixture, and we're going to pack it on. And what I do is just put enough on that it's going to stick. Once it brush it off, and that's the amount. How much do I put on? Whatever sticks on it. Right? Works pretty well. If any falls off the side, that's okay. But like that much right there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to overnight. We're going to take and weigh it down with some plates, and then we're going to let that sit until tomorrow. Then tomorrow we're going to take it out and we're going to wash it very gently, all this salt off, almost all of it. Then we're going to cold smoke it for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Now what's interesting, I think I might have mentioned it before, but I used to smoke the salmon in a very similar kind of environment. I used to smoke it for 4 hours, and it was really nice. I smoked it, came here, smoked it for 4 hours here, and everybody said, oh, way too much smoke, way too much smoke. So I cut it back to 2.5 hours. It's just a different clientele, different area where you're at. I don't think, we eat as much. You're starting to eat a little more smoked meat than we used to, but that's about it. Okay. You ready?